NFL star Laurent Duvernay-Tardif is putting his career on hold once again on account of beginning a residency program at a Montreal area hospital next month. With this and much more to talk about today, we'll be going over all the recent updates in the world of NFL. So hut, folks. And without further ado, let's get right to it. First up, taking another break. The 31-year-old Canadian offensive lineman has recently told the Canadian press that he'll be beginning a residency program at a Montreal area hospital starting next month. Duvernay-Tardif has now been an unrestricted NFL free agent ever since March, after finishing the last season playing for the New York Jets. According to Tardif, he isn't going to be retiring from football. He's just taking care of some medical requirements needed to officially become a physician. The player plans to reassess both his interest in football and the NFL clubs around September, but for now, he wishes to take some time off to pursue his own interests. After helping the Kansas City Chiefs win the Super Bowl back in February 2020, Tardif became the first NFL player who opted out of the next season, leaving the team to battle the COVID pandemic while he worked at a long-term care facility in Montreal. The 6'5", 321-pound athlete returned to Kansas City just last season expecting to retake his opening spot, but ended up getting sidelined for a month after breaking his hand during training camp. Back in November, he walked his no-trade clause, which allowed Kansas City to trade him over the Jets. He then started 7 of his 8 games at the right guard for the Jets. Duvernay-Tardif also received his doctorate in medicine and a master's degree in surgery from McGill University back in 2018. Whether he decides to go back to playing football or chooses to pursue a medical career is yet to be seen. Whatever the case may be, he has definitely earned the right to choose anything he wants to do. We wish him the best in whichever career he pursues. So let's discuss the first break. The first time Tardif took time off from the NFL was in the wake of the COVID epidemic. Being the only NFL athlete who has a medical certificate, he prioritized the care of patients suffering from the virus. In his opt-out message, the player said he felt he had to focus his attention on caring for COVID-19 patients. Tardif also said that he recognized how privileged they were to be able to play ball after taking a year off from the sport. According to him, caring for patients took an emotional toll. He also added that the hospital in which he worked lost a lot of patients and that he kept in touch with Chiefs players to help deal with his stress. Experiencing dealing with the pandemic firsthand caused him to rethink his priorities, but he added that it was awesome to be back playing with the Chiefs. And now, no regrets. Though there were some times when Duvernay-Tardif missed being around the Chiefs, he doesn't regret his decision to sit out the 2020 NFL season. Duvernay-Tardif told Therese Paylor in February that he knew what I signed up for when he agreed to step away from the game. Duvernay-Tardif said he initially felt like he let the Chiefs down by opting out, but has said that the support he received from his teammates made him feel better about the decision. Duvernay-Tardif tried to work out as much as possible during the pandemic, but was still knocking off some rust in camp. After starting Super Bowl 54, Duvernay-Tardif worked with the second team during training camp. Next, we have a broken hand. The Kansas City Chiefs played without guard Laurent Duvernay-Tardif for about 4 weeks because of a broken bone in his hand. Though he didn't need surgery, the injury was still enough to have him sidelined. Duvernay-Tardif has been running against his second team right guard behind rookie Trey Smith, a 6th-round draft choice, in training camp before the injury. Initially, it was feared that Tardif would have to miss 4 to 6 weeks of matches. However, it was later estimated that with enough care, he could make a recovery before week 1. That gave the Chiefs a bit more security on the right side of the line, and the knowledge that they would be set in case of any interior injuries. Next, in other news, winners don't do drugs. 25-year-old New York Giants linebacker Justin Hilliard has been suspended for 2 games after violating the league's policy on performance-enhancing substances. Hilliard, who's an undrafted free agent spending most of the last year on the injured reserve, worked with the first-team defense this spring while starting middle linebacker Blake Martinez continued his rehab following a torn ACL. In a tweet he made Friday, Hilliard stated that he took full responsibility for having a banned substance in his body, claiming that he had accidentally taken his partner's prescription medication instead of his own. He went on to say that he was well aware of the NFL's zero-tolerance policy on PEDs and took full responsibility for his mistake. While he can still come for practice matches and games, he won't be able to play for the next 2 games and will return for a 3rd-week game against the Dallas Cowboys. Remember, kids, stay in school and don't do drugs. It isn't worth the trouble. And now, reunited at last. Jadeveon Clowney admitted Thursday that he ultimately decided he could be re-signing with the Cleveland Browns once he knew quarterback Deshaun Watson was headed to Cleveland too. Clowney is coming off a breakout season with the Browns after signing a 1-year deal last year. Playing opposite All-Pro mass rusher Myles Garrett, Clowney finished with 9 sacks, both both Garrett and Clowney raked in the top 4 in the NFL in pass rush win rate. What tipped the scales for Clowney, though, was the opportunity to play again with Watson, his former teammate with the Houston Texans. The Browns traded for Watson in March, sending 3 first-round picks to the Texans. It remains unclear when Clowney will actually get to play with Watson, though. Watson is facing 24 active civil lawsuits from women who have accused him of inappropriate sexual conduct during massage sessions. However, Clowney has said that he isn't worried that a potential Watson suspension could derail Cleveland's season. Let's see whether this dynamic duo will be able to play together after everything else has been cleared up. Clearly they and the fans want to see it happen. Next up, we have Brady versus Manning. Bart Scott, a former Pro Bowl linebacker who played for the Baltimore Ravens and New York Jets, revealed which quarterback he would rather have gone up against during his career, Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. Scott played all of his career in the AFC and had ample time to go up against Brady and Manning during his career. While Brady may have been more successful than Manning in the Super Bowl and NFL playoffs during his 22-year career, Scott said on ESPN Radio earlier in the week that he would much rather have played the GOAT rather than the Sheriff. Brady is entering the 23rd season of his career and is coming off one of his best seasons ever. He finished the 2021 season leading the league in touchdowns at 43 in total and passing yards. He finished second to Aaron Rodgers in the NFL MVP voting and third in Offensive Player of the Year voting, Rodgers and winner Cooper Kupp. Brady announced his decision to leave the league in February without mentioning the words retire or retirement and without initially thanking the New England Patriots. On Wednesday, he told the Dan Patrick Show that while he was away, the hunger and drive to compete again for a Super Bowl came back. Whether or not Brady could give Scott a run for his money is yet unknown. Who do you guys think could come out on top? Now that's a match we'd gladly pay to see. And finally, a chance at the Super Bowl. 7 years after the Broncos last won a Super Bowl, new quarterback Russell Wilson believes this year's squad is poised to take home a title again, and that's the main reason he came to Denver. Wilson has reached the Super Bowl before in Seattle, making appearances in back-to-back years in 2013 and 2014, winning the first of those trips. While the Seahawks have faded from playoff contention since then, Wilson still has the chops to lead a good team to a deep postseason run, and maybe to a Super Bowl title. Wilson believes that Denver is a city where he could make that happen, so when the 33-year-old was approached about being traded away from Seattle, he put the Broncos on top of his list of destinations. The Broncos have 3 Super Bowl wins as a franchise, most recently winning Super Bowl 50 in 2015 under Hall of Fame quarterback Peyton Manning. Since Manning's retirement after that season, the Broncos' main hindrance to success has been their lack of a solid franchise quarterback, as all the other pieces of the offense and defense are playoff ready. With the trade, the Broncos received the franchise QB they've been wanting for years, and for Wilson, he's joining a team that is wanting to win now and has the capability to do so. It could be a match made in heaven. One sports team in Colorado, the Avalanche, is already fighting to win an NHL championship this week. We'll see if the Broncos can follow suit this fall and put together the pieces to bring home another title for Denver. As Wilson said, it's a city that knows how to win. Well, that's a wrap for this video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.